Lemur Paws is excited to present the importance of being earnest when two lies collide. We have assembled an amazing production team to bring the story to life. We have chosen Thomas Westover, a young and brilliant eye, to direct this performance. His ability to design a scene and bring it to life will wow you. Our other crew members are superior in their line of work. Alora Lovelace is a star ready to shine on the stage. Our lighting designer, Brett Gonzalez, knows how to bring emotion and flame to the stage with his brilliant placement of lighting. Over our costumes is Atalia Hernandez, who will wow the audience with how the performers will look, and our stage designer. Alyssa Horn has built and designed a stage so beautiful it only belongs in one of the most famous theaters in London, the Shakespeare Globe. The Shakespeare Globe. The historical venue is the perfect place for our team to bring these characters to an audience. Known for its history and performances such as Hamlet and the tragedy of Macbeth, the audience will be wrapped around our stage in a historical thrust style. We believe this will add another level of comedic style to our production, from facial expressions by the performers and seeing them try and scramble their second lives as the truth in audiences closes in around them. Soon, audiences will be lined out the door to see the next great production at this venue, The Importance of Being Earnest, When Two Lies Collide. As a team, we have decided the era of this play will focus around the Victorian era of history. You will see this time era style in the way our characters interact, their costumes, dialogue, and stage design. We have targeted theater enthusiasts who appreciate classic comedies and witty dialogue, students and academics studying Oscar Victorian literature. We believe individuals who enjoy satire will flock to this performance, as The Importance of Being Earnest is known for its wittiness and comedy. Our hope is you will fall in love with our performers' idea and plan and support us in bringing this production to life. But do not just take my word for it. Let me now present to you our director, Thomas Westover.
The Importance of Being Earnest is a classic written by Oscar Wilde. Its humor, deception, and utter absurdity makes for an amazing watching experience. Our production takes this to the next level, and the scene we have chosen is where Gwendolyn and Cecily discover the true nature of their beloved Ernest, finding out that he doesn't even exist. My ultimate goal for this scene is to take this moment from a simple realization of sorts to a complete comedic experience where the weight completely crashes down on our characters. Being able to perform in the Globe is an amazing opportunity for us to experience what it truly is to be excellent. The audience surrounds the action, which mirrors the truth, closing in on our characters. At the start of the scene, I want it to be very tense. Both women will claim dominance while still being in a place of poise. It will almost be like a duel. It will be dignified at first, but soon the confusion mounts and their composure is lost. The ladies will be moving in circles, fencing with their words, trying to keep their composure and maintain control. But when the truth is revealed, I want there to be a moment of silence, for comedic effect, of course. Then the chaos comes. Given the fact that we are keeping the tradition of the Victorian era, I want both the costumes and the overall mannerisms to be classic. The characters at the beginning will be very uptight and rigid, posh, one might say. The vowels and consonants being exasperated, that kind of thing. But as the scene goes on, that will all go out the window. I won't really go into the lighting portion, I'll leave that up to Brett, so I'll end with this. This scene in particular has so much going on, and I love it. It is the heart and the comedy of this play. I ultimately want to make the audience feel a little uncomfortable because of the tension at first, laugh at the lack of understanding from the characters, and bathe in the true ridiculousness that is this scene.
So it'll be a great honor to have our play set at the Shakespeare Globe Theater. And in doing such, we kind of have unique opportunities with the lighting because it's an open air, there's no ceiling on this stage. So what we have to decide between is when we're gonna perform this, because that's the biggest thing that'll have an impact on our lighting situation. So if we were to hold this production during the day, then it's more about the timing and the weather and working with the production staff to make sure that we coordinate that perfectly, so that we ensure we have great lighting throughout the play. And if we have it in the evening, then it's more directly influenced by us, the lighting design team, or myself. So for daytime shows, because of the way that this theater is designed, it's designed specifically for this, so we wouldn't have to really have any of the lights on during a daytime show. And you can see in a lot of references for other plays that have been performed during the day that none of the lighting none of the lighting is turned on at all, but you can still see the action clearly and see the actors. And because of the way it's designed and how the light comes in through the top, you get a very clear visual of them and their performances, their expressions, their mannerisms, everything. It's just all very clear to the audience, even with no lights turned on. Uh, the big thing, like I said, is making sure that we have this set at the right time. We don't want to start a little late, and then by the time that the show's over, it's all too dark. So we got to make sure that we start at the correct time, as well as make sure that it's not going to be too overcast or, maybe it starts raining. That's something that we have to pay close attention to while we're getting ready for the show. If we were to do an evening show, that's when, like I said, we have very direct influence over the lighting. So in other plays that are done at this stage, you see that there is a lot of overhead lighting that's used and often a lot of backlighting used to highlight the action and the silhouettes of the actors on stage. There's also some spotlights around the second floor that go directly onto the stage, and those are could be used to highlight more intense and dramatic scenes. For our scene in particular with Gwendolyn and Cecily, like Thomas said, he wants there to be a bit of tension in this scene. So I think it'd be good to kind of dim a lot of those other lights and just focus on the spotlights while those two are kind of sparring with each other. And then as we get to the more comedic and funny moments of the scene, as it kind of lightens up, then we can bring the lights back up and kind of have it be a little bit more lighthearted, like a lot of the other comedic moments would be throughout a play like this. So, like I said, I think between those two options, I think for our scene in particular, an evening show would be best just because of how we are kind of depicting this scene. I think that having a daytime scene, it's just even lighting throughout, and that works for a lot of productions where it's not as emotional and you're not really changing the tone throughout. But because ours does have tonal shifts throughout, I think having influence over how our scene looks could really benefit us and highlight our actors' performances as well as our set design and a lot of other elements. And we could do additional lighting because we might be doing it in the evening. So there's things like I said, the backlight could really highlight those silhouettes as the two are walking around. We just really get a good impactful visual of those two as they're circling around because of that light coming in from behind them. We could also use practical lighting like lamps on end table, but that will help kind of sell you and put you in that world is having, set props like that. And again, the lighting, like having control over little bits of the lighting like lamps will again like give us more direct influence over the tone of the scene.
Can you guys see this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. Okay, we're good. So for me, I was in charge of the stage design. And this was kind of covered earlier in blocking. But I think it's just really important for the stage that there's multiple things going on, where obviously we see that Gwendolyn and Cecily is there. And maybe there's, the table with it in between them and things, but also with the backdrop, still showing that they're outdoors and showing that they're, in the garden outside. And I feel like this just adds to the scene in it being a very secluded area. They're in the countryside, right, for this scene. And so I feel like that really helps add to kind of the vibe of the show, of the play, to show where they are, their location. And so I feel like having it outdoors and then also like it is in the play, and having that garden nearby and the flowers around just really adds to the scene, adds to the beauty of it, adds to it being just more on the stage to fill the stage, but also beautify it in a sense as well. And with that, this is kind of a more of actual photos being used, but just to get a better idea, better feel for how the stage could be designed to really kind of point towards a story to help the viewers understand, and having the actors in the center of the stage and having the things around it kind of pointing towards them as well, where obviously, the house would be on the side, the butler's there, and the flowers, the garden, but obviously Cecily and Gwendolyn are front and center. And I feel like the setup just really helps with the stage design and helping everyone in the audience be able to see well, and having things to look at as well. I kind of brought that up earlier, where having multiple things on the stage, I feel like really adds to the viewer's experience. And so this is a photo from a performance of this play, where it kind of shows a bit of what I was talking about, where you can see the flowers behind, you can see the greenery that really shows that they're outdoors and shows that they're in the garden. And you can also tell by these characters who is who Gwendolyn is, who Cecily is. They do a great job with the costume design as well. But I feel like just with this stage design, it just really pulls the play together, pulls this scene together, and really showing who the characters are on stage, who they are, and just what the focus is of this scene.
Hi, my name is Iclalio Campo, and my part is custom design. Sorry for my English, it's a little bit complicated to me speaking English, but I try my best. Well, exploring the role costumes in the importance of beginning well, this presentation delves into the crucial role of costume design in the theatrical production, highlighting how costumes reflect Victorian aesthetics and enhance the narrative's comedic and dramatic elements. In the Victorian setting, the costume design will be meticulously crafted to embody the Victorian era, characterized by the structured garments and intricate details. Each character will echo the social norm and expectation of the time, thereby immersing the audience in the historical context of the play. The character reflection costumes are designed not only to depict the period currently, but also to reflect the individual personalities and social status for the characters. Gwendolyn and Cecile, as upper-class women, will do refined Victorian dresses that symbolize their grace, while Jack will wear tailored outfits that reflect their divergent natures. So in this part, Gwendolyn and Cecile will be dressed up elegant Victorian dresses that signify their upper class status. Their costume will be featured with high collars, fitted bodices, and larger skirts. Jack and Algernon costumes will incorporate it well with coats, waistcoats, and cravats covering their polished yet playful. Jack's traditional attire will contrast with Algernon blunter choices such as vibrant partners and playful accessories. This visual differentiation will enhance their distinct personalities with the narrative. The color and fabric choices. The costume will utilize a palette adherent to Victorian fashion, strategical employing contrast to accentuate comedic moments. The fabric choices will reflect the era, while subtle variation in colors and patterns will underscore the absurdity of the character situation as truths are revealed. The conclusions: the designing costumes will not only adhere to historical accuracy but also serve as a dynamic tool for storytelling, enhancing both the comedic and dramatic aspects of the importance of the beginning earnest as characters navigate their complexities. Their evolving customs will visually engage the audience, underscoring the central themes of social status and personal identity.
Hi, my name's Alora Thompson, and today I will be performing a monologue from the play The Importance of Being Earnest. It's from Act 2, and I will be playing the part of Gwendolyn. Oh, how interesting! He never mentioned to me he had a ward. How very secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I'm not sure, however, that this news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am bound to say that now that I know you're Mr. Worthing's ward, I can't help but expressing a wish that you were, well, just a little bit older than you seem to be, and not quite so alluring in appearance. I am very fond of you, Cicely. I have liked you ever since I met you. But to speak with perfect candor, I can't help expressing a wish that you were fully 42 and unusually plain for your age. Ernest is an upright, moral character. He is the very soul of truth and honor. Disloyalty to him would be as impossible as deception. Even so, men, even of the noblest character, can fall prey to the physical charms of others. History, no less ancient history, has many examples of what I speak of. If it were not so, history would be, well, quite unreadable. Thank you.